You know that feeling when you order a tankless water heater because every ad says endless hot water and the unit looks sleek on the page, only to find the installation is a nightmare. The recirculation never quite kicks in, and you're left shivering while the water finally catches up? I've been there. My first tankless purchase left me with a cold shower in the middle of a busy morning and a bill that made my wallet wince. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. Today, I'm breaking down the Rinnai REP160iP Smart-Circ, a propane-fueled system that promises to fix those exact pain points, so you can decide whether it truly lives up to the hype or if you should keep scrolling. First off, let's talk about the core problem most homeowners face with traditional tankless units, the first drop cold issue. When you turn on a tap, the water in the pipes is still cold, and because the heater only starts heating once flow is detected, you get a short burst of lukewarm water before it finally reaches the set temperature. Rinnai tries to solve that with its Smart-Circ intelligent recirculation loop. In plain language, it adds a small pump that pushes hot water through a dedicated recirculation line, keeping the water in the pipe warm even when you're not using it. The claim is you'll never have to wait for hot water again. In real-world use, that means if you live in a house where the bathroom is 3 or 4 rooms away from the heater, you won't be standing there for a minute while the water finally heats up. The pump runs on a low-power motor and is controlled by a smart sensor that only activates when you actually need hot water, so you're not wasting propane or electricity just to keep a loop of water hot all day. Now, who should actually consider the REP160iP? If you have a moderate-sized home, say 3 to 4 bathrooms where the distance between the heater and the farthest fixture is 50 feet or more, the recirculation benefit becomes tangible. Families with kids who need quick showers in the morning, or anyone who runs a dishwasher and then immediately needs hot water for a second load, will feel that time saved. Another sweet spot is anyone who's already on propane for cooking or heating. The unit draws directly from your existing tank, so you don't have to run a new gas line. Because it's a tankless model, you also avoid the bulk and eventual rust issues that come with traditional storage tanks, which is a big plus for homes in humid climates where tanks can corrode faster. Conversely, if you live in a small apartment or a condo where the water heater is already right next to the fixtures, the Smart-Circ loop adds unnecessary complexity. The pump, while efficient, still requires a separate line and a bit of extra plumbing work. For a 1 or 2 bathroom dwelling, the first drop cold period is usually only a few seconds, and many people find that acceptable. In those cases, a simpler, non-recirculating tankless unit or even a small electric tankless heater might be a better fit and a lower upfront cost. Speaking of cost, the price tag on the REP160iP is definitely higher than a basic tankless model. That's because you're paying for the integrated pump, the smart control board, and the Rinnai brand's reputation for durability. The value really comes from the combination of never having to wait for hot water and the reduced wear on the heat exchanger, because the system isn't constantly cycling on and off to catch up with demand. Over time, that can translate into lower propane consumption and a longer lifespan, which is where the headline specs start to matter more than just the BTU rating on the page. Installation is where the rubber meets the road, and this is the part that trips up a lot of DIY hopefuls. Rinnai recommends professional installation, and that's not just a sales line. The unit needs to be vented correctly for propane, the recirculation line has to be sized properly, and the smart controller must be wired to a dedicated circuit. If you're not comfortable pulling permits and working with gas lines, you'll need to budget for a licensed plumber or HVAC tech. The upside is that once it's installed, the system is essentially plug-and-play. The controller sits on the wall and learns your usage patterns, so you don't have to fiddle with timers or manual switches. One practical strength that often gets glossed over is the never run out of hot water claim. Because the unit heats water on demand, you truly have an infinite supply provided you have enough propane in your tank. In my research, I found that a 500-gallon propane tank can sustain a family of 4 taking 3 showers a day, plus laundry, without needing a refill for a week or more, depending on the water temperature you set. That's a real benefit for people who live in areas where propane deliveries can be delayed during winter storms. The system also has a built-in safety shutoff that monitors for flame failure, which adds peace of mind if you're using the